All Blacks up against France this weekend, folks. There's a lot of firsts for this one. First squad for Dave Rennie to be picking his first game day, 23. First international match down at this new stadium down in Christchurch. First Nations Championship match for this new competition. How is it going to go? The squads are out. The All Blacks are favourites, but by how much? We'll go through that, some stats, predictions. You guys can let us know your thoughts on who the guys to watch are. The All Blacks, it's Dave Rennie's first team. I don't want to say he's gone conservative, but he's not gone fully experimental. He certainly made some big calls. Who are our guys to watch? Certainly Ruben Love being selected at 10 is a pretty bold choice. You could have gone more conservative, gone with Bodie, or gone with D-Mac at 10, but he's gone with the form man from Super Rugby. He's pairing him with Cam Roigard, who's the Hurricanes 9, Geordie Barrett, who's the Hurricanes 12. He's smack bang in the middle of them on the back of this Hurricanes winning campaign. He's been running that back line. I, for one, am pretty chuffed to see Ruben Love. He's not a debutant, but it's like to get a real run. Give him the keys. Let's see what he can do at 10. I'm very, very pleased for that aspect of this selection because he only got really token minutes under Razor, did Ruben Love. He seems to have heaps of potential. The back row was maybe a little bit surprising in that Luke Jacobson is kind of the least favored guy in terms of the squad that's been chosen. There's been a lot of talk about Segner. Has this German guy going to get his cap? He's not in the 23. Kurefi, he missed out. Must mean they're going to play Artie at 7. Artie's not playing at 7. Artie's playing at 8. Jacobson is playing at 7. Dave Rennie looking for more physicality from him. That's kind of why he's been picked. I would imagine Luke's going to be doing what his stats say he does. He's a big physical presence, gets over the ball, makes lots of tackles, slow the ball down. Just do what Luke Jacobson does, which is maybe not the sexy, flashy stuff. He's not got the X-Factor game that like a Lakai or a Savia has. They're maybe lacking a little bit of height in their back row, but they'll be certainly very mobile. Ball in hand, I feel like they'll be doing some really good work. Both Lakai and Savia are likewise able to get over the ball. So if we win some turnovers and look to counter, I think we could be in a good position, assuming we can get those turnovers, because we also have the two playmakers with D-Mac at fullback. That's another big call from Dave. You might have thought D-Mac goes into the 23 jumper, covering 10, covering 15. He's straight in at 15. And Dave Rennie did talk about the aerial threat of the French kicking game. So D-Mac at 15, Will Jordan, so put a guy who plays a lot of fullback on the right wing. He's also very adept on the right wing for New Zealand for sure. And then Caleb Clark, who's one of the better New Zealand wingers under high balls on the left wing. So they are looking to diffuse that French kicking game with those picks. The midfield of Barrett and Tupaia, I think, picks itself based on form for Super Rugby. And then I feel like one of the key guys in our forward pack is going to be Ethan de Groot. I think he's been our best, seeing as Tamaiti Williams has been out, he's been our best scrummaging loose head prop. If anyone's going to win penalties up against the French front row, in particular Bamba, who might be a little vulnerable in that area, it is Ethan de Groot. So I look to see what he can do. Also interesting to see Cody Taylor got the night ahead of Taukei'aho and Almoa. We do have the Hurricanes front row replacements of Almoa, Numia, and Lomax. Numia on debut, so congrats to him. But I'm looking forward to seeing Almoa just continue his wrecking ball form from Super Rugby if he can do so. Satiti's back after that big concussion, and then a couple more Hurricanes in Proctor and Whittingham on the bench. Whittingham will be on debut. Dave not tempted to chuck him into the deep end straight away. For France, they are obviously without some of their big gun players. There's no Dupont, there's no Intermac, there's no Olivon, there's no Aldrit, there's no BLBRA, etc. So it is not the French team which you might have seen playing in the Six Nations. There's a lot of guys who are either the high potential guys for France going forward, some of the guys who have already made their ways into the squad, or some guys who are now back into the squad, like Damien Penaud is one of France's record try scorers. Is he currently the record holder? He's back on the right wing, so that's certainly a bit of good news. He's been playing a fair bit of centre in the top 14, was out of the Six Nations squad, but he's back in on the right wing. Ati Sogbe was playing second fiddle to BLBRA in the Six Nations, but was also very, very good. He was the second top try scorer, so by no means a guy to kind of ignore, but you'd be most excited about the 9-10 combo of Luku and Jalibert. These guys won the Champions Cup over in France, so it's the premier European competition. These guys won it with Bordeaux. Matthew Jalibert's offloading game, nuts. He was in the Six Nations. He was their starting 10 with no Intermac. Offloads, defenders beaten, try assists. He was just doing everything. The dude is magic. He's very much at one experienced scale compared to Ruben Love. So it's a big mismatch there. And Luku, that kind of goal-kicking, box-kicking 9, he can certainly pull the strings to get the French pack going in the right areas of the field. Moefana is also a veteran there at 12 by this point. And then Bro Bore, gas man. He's only an inexperienced guy, but he's looked a lot of potential. He got his cap in the Six Nations, looked very dangerous. I do worry for them about the scrum, because there's one position that they are not flush with talent at the moment. It is still tight head prop. So Bamba is by no means their first or second or maybe third choice tight head prop. Obviously, Antonio had to retire with his heart issues. He was called out of retirement by Galtier because they were struggling for tight heads. Bamba. If he gets in trouble at scrum time, that'll be advantage New Zealand. But if he can hold parity, then that'll be certainly a bit of an easier job for the French. Poirot and Lamotte alongside him. Orodo and Staniforth. Staniforth's that big lump of an Australian bit of beef. His first cap at international level, so we'll see how he goes, but he's a big unit, and Galtier does like a big tight head lock behind his tight head prop, so he's going to help out. And then the back row is looking less capped and more potential-wise, with Boschaton being on his debut. Gazzotti, who's like the 21-year-old number 8, he's had a cap, but only the one. And, high potential guy, but hasn't quite done it yet. And Jigu's been more of a regular, very dominant in the collision. So it's a mix. It's a mix of established guys, informed guys, veterans being back, guys on debut. I don't think you can take them lightly, even if they will go as underdogs. You got another debutant potentially in Massa, the replacement hooker. Guillard is a work rate machine from the bench. I look forward to seeing him getting on. Ligarek is their replacement 9. They are stock full of 9s, even without Dupont over in France. Deporter likewise likely to come on in the midfield. Very, very dangerous ball in hand. Some stats for you. We don't know what we're going to see from New Zealand yet because we haven't seen what Dave Rennie's side has done. It's his first game. What we didn't see from Razor's All Blacks was the cohesion on attack. So that's going to be one thing we're certainly going to be looking for. If we look at Dave's most recent team, his team over in Japan, high offloading, high turnovers. So that seems to be similar to what he's picked with this team. He's got certainly a bunch of turnover merchants in the side. He's got the double playmakers, looking to hit the French on the bounce maybe. Could be in order of the day. It's a pretty mobile looking All Blacks pack with some good scrummaging type forwards. For France, their offloading game in the Six Nations was nuts. Jalibert was, as I said, a big part of that. 16 per game. The next team was I think Ireland with 8. They were just chucking the ball around like mad. And a very good kick chase game, which is where Luku comes in, because he's got a very, very good box kicking game. If they can kick contestable kicks and retain them, when the Six Nations, they were retaining about a quarter of their kicks, which was more than anybody else by quite some way, then they'll be getting themselves up the field and down the danger end. So New Zealand will be doing some defending. And also the most dominant tackles by a mile. So big physical pack, contest the kicks, cause New Zealand problems. Who knows? If we drop some high balls, we could be in some hot water. Last 5 games, it's 3-2 to the All Blacks, but remembering 3 of those wins was last year's French tour to New Zealand, where it was a weaker side than this one coming down. And we didn't exactly put them away in all the games. The first one was 31-27. Wasn't exactly a hiding. The second one was 43-17. The third was a bit more in the middle, 29-19. The last 2 matches in France were won by France. So those are the kind of 2 French wins there. Last French win in New Zealand was 2009. So it has been quite some time. Who are the favourites? Well, it's obviously the All Blacks. The bookies are saying by 11 points. But the Rugby Forecast algorithm, which doesn't take into account the team selections, it assumes the team is just the team. It doesn't think A team, B team, C team, is saying New Zealand by 6. So even if it was the French stacked side, the All Blacks would still be favourites for this one. It is on at One New Zealand Stadium down in Christchurch, which is this beautiful new stadium. It's sold out. It's indoors. It's going to be an absolute picture. I look forward to seeing it on test day. Luke Pearce, the Englishman, is the ref. Maybe slight advantage for France there because he referees the Champions Cup, the Challenge Cup, and the Six Nations. So some of the French players might be slightly more familiar with him than the All Blacks lads. But yeah, I'll be back in the All Blacks. I feel like we need to win this one. I'm not expecting us to be flawless from day one, but I would like to see what Rennie is building. It's a pity we don't get to see France at full strength, or what they will be even in week 2, with some guys flying down after the top 14 final for the Aussie match, but that's just the scheduling of the competition. Some people were saying New Zealand's at fault for that, but I don't think New Zealand had the power over the fixtures somehow. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts. What are your predictions for this one? Take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.